Hello friends, welcome back to Rainbow Six Siege from scratch. In today's video, I'm going to explain what you should do when you first enter the game so that everything works correctly and you can enjoy the experience with more quality. In summary, I will comment on a character level, how to get them, and at the level of graphics, how you should configure them. But before we start, I invite you to subscribe so you don't miss any content, and to leave a big like. With that said, let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is go to Options and configure our screen. You can configure the screen to your liking, in my case. In the refresh rate, the more you put the better. I will put 240 Hz. The resolution in my case, I'm going to put 1920 x 1080, and I'm going to put the full screen mode. If you want to get used to the game quickly, it is best to set the field of view to the maximum. This is the range of vision that you are going to have while playing. Then we will go to the general settings, where we will be able to configure the matchmaking, choosing what type of game mode we want in quick matches. There must always be at least one active, whether it is bombs, hostage, or eliminations. Choose what you want to play. Further down in the chat channel, we will put everything, so we can see both the team messages and the opponent's ones. And in cross-play matchmaking, we will activate it in case we want to play with people from other platforms. In the interface section, I recommend that you leave it with the default settings so that you can better understand how the game works. Regarding the sound, the main volume, the music, and the dialogues, I would lower them a lot, because it helps me to concentrate on the ambient sounds to detect the enemies. At the beginning, you will find it difficult to identify the sounds. Something that can help you is to put the dynamic range in night mode. I personally am a little deaf, and it helps me a lot. As for the graphics, I recommend setting everything to the minimum, so that the game goes as smoothly as possible in terms of FPS. But in render scaling and TAA sharpness, we will put them to the maximum. As for the control section, this you have to configure to your liking. You should try different sensitivities to see which one you are most comfortable with. You can also configure the keyboard controls as you like. In my case, I have some things changed, like for example the melee attack, which I have put on one of the mouse buttons to have it more at hand. In the privacy settings, we can put a nickname if we do not want to show our nickname, and we can hide or not different options such as the avatar, the region in which we play, etc. And in accessibility, I wouldn't touch anything unless you want to customize the optic color. Once our game options are set up, all you have left to do is start playing. To play, as I have already mentioned in other videos, you have different operators, divided into two sides, attackers and defenders. As at first you will only be able to play quick matches apart from the trainings, I will give you a brief overview of what Rainbow Six Siege is about. In the quick matches, besides the arcade mode, you can play three basic modes. The first one is bombs, in which the defenders have to prevent the attackers from deactivating the bombs, and on the contrary, the attackers must locate and deactivate the bombs. The second mode is Secure the Area. Here, the attackers must invade the safe area before time runs out, and the defenders must prevent that invasion. And finally, the third mode is Hostage. Here, the defenders have kidnapped the hostage and must prevent their rescue. On the contrary, the attackers must rescue the hostage and take them to a safe zone. If you haven't seen the game mode guide, I invite you to watch it to learn more in depth about these game modes and the others, which you will be able to play as you level up. Now I'm going to tell you how to get operators to play. When we open the game for the first time, we will have to buy operators as we won't have any, unless we purchase a version of the game that comes with operators included. Currently, there are 70 operators, 35 from the defending side and 35 from the attacking side, but every year 4 new operators are released. The first thing you need to know is that every year they divide it into 4 seasons. Each season lasts 3 months, and each season they put a new character, new map, and new updates. Therefore, there are more and more operators. They usually go hand in hand. One season they bring out a defender, in the next they bring out an attacker, and so on. But what interests us is how to get all these operators as quickly as possible. Well, as I explained in the previous video, you can get credits and recognition chips with which you can buy the operators. How do you get these recognition chips and credits? Well, by playing. When you start the game for the first time, you will only be able to play quick matches and training options. Just by watching the tutorials, they already give you some recognition chips. I recommend watching the tutorials first to learn the basics of the game, and then do quick games. In the quick games, from time to time, you get the alpha packs, in which you can get skins, multipliers, credits, etc. If you have fame multipliers, you can use them to get fame chips faster. The other option you have is to buy R6 credits. But I understand that there will be people who do not want to spend money on the game. Depending on how current the operators are, they will cost you more or less credits or fame chips. There are characters that are easier to use than others. I recommend that you read a little about the story and the abilities of each character. With this, friends, we have finished with the game configuration. Remember that you can configure everything to your liking, but I think these options will suit you well to start. With that said, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe if you liked it. See you in the next chapter. Bye-bye.